am joined here with Chris Kvartek, who has had, if I may say so myself, a meteoric rise to the top of Magic the Gathering. What's your secret?
Thank you. Having fun, losing a lot, and I don't know, trying to learn from the best players.
All right, well, I lose a lot, so I think I'm well on my way. And your deck you brought this weekend, I'm super excited to talk about Golgari Adventure. Why did you bring this deck?
So I did well at the MCQ qualifier weekends that was leading up to this, and the deck treated me super well. I thought the Oko matchup was pretty good, and I thought you were just playing really powerful cards and had a great early game. So.
All right, well, let's take a look at that early game. Speaking of Edgewall Innkeeper and Once Upon a Time, these cards are awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me why they're so great in this deck.
So Edgewall Innkeeper is obviously the linchpin. It's the best card in the deck. It makes everything into a cantrip, and it's really hard to answer because no one's really playing Shocks or Bone Crusher Giants right now. Whereas Once Upon a Time finds it, and I made the mistake of not playing this at the MCQ weekend because I really didn't have enough time to test it. But, I mean, it's incredible. Having this card on turn one just means that you draw 3-4 extra cards, you're able to outgrind the Oko decks. And it's so cheap that you could even set up turns to play around removal. And, I mean, this card finds Raise Dead Once Upon a Time. It finds the Murderous Rider, which, kills a guy.
Does it all. Slices it, dices. I've got to ask about Edgewall Innkeeper, though, playing this deck a little bit. How important is it to have this in your opening hand?
Incredibly. It's night and day when you have it and you don't. Like I said, just everything cantripping is unbelievable.
Well, thank goodness we've got Once Upon a Time as well to help us out. Okay, well, let's take a look at some of your adventure cards here. Foulmire Knight, Murderous Rider, Order of Midnight, and Lovestruck Beast. Tell me about the role these cards play in the deck.
So Foulmire Knight at first I thought was going to be super underwhelming, but the fact that you could cycle it in matchups where the Death Touch creature isn't relevant is really important. And the fact that you can lead up a turn where you go Innkeeper into Foulmire. I mean, it's a 1-mon Elvish Visionary with Death Touch, so that's excellent.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And Murderous Rider, I mean, you already mentioned it.
There's a ton of Planeswalkers, the Nissas, the Okos, the Lilianas. I mean, you need to kill them all, and having the body left over to, again, draw a card of Innkeeper helps you outgrind them.
Order of Midnight is a card I really like because both modes here are pretty good, no matter which way you cast it. So talk to me about Lovestruck Beast in particular, because the 5/5 body on this is super important.
It's probably my second favorite card in the deck. It's an excellent play on turn one, and a lot of decks just can't deal with the 5/5. I mean, Oko can turn into a 3/3, but that's still pretty good stats.
5/5 beats a 3/3 in a fight, I would say. Let's take a look at some of your big payoff cards here, your mid-range Grindfest cards, Liliana Dreadhorde General, Rankle Master of Pranks, and Vraska Golgari Queen. So talk to me about Liliana and what she does in this deck. Okay,
so Liliana has two main focuses. One is sacking the two creatures is pretty unbelievable. It answers Wicked Wolf super well. And, you draw cards off your own guys off the static effect. And then making zombies, there's not many flyers in the format, so you just gum up the grounds and accrue more value and take over the game eventually.
Would you say that you like pranks here with Rankle?
Oh, man. I didn't know this card would be so good, but it just has so much text and so many options that, yeah, it definitely pranks your opponent, makes them sack their good creatures.
Do you find this card difficult to play with, or do you always know what to do with Rankle?
Very difficult. I feel like I'm always hemming and hawing over the draw discard part in particular.
All right, so if you're somebody like me or at home, you don't know what to do, it's okay. Players here have a hard time with this card too. And Vraska Golgari Queen, kind of a blast from the past here.
Yeah, from the good old the Explore days. But the -3 to kill Oko, I don't want to keep talking about Oko, but kill a Planeswalker left with a Planeswalker. Yeah.
Right. So Vraska, what else does she do, though, for you in this deck?
When you have Liliana out, you draw 2 cards off sacrificing creatures.
All right.
And it stops you from flooding out, so.
All right, let's take a look at some of the answers you've got in your deck as well. Massacre Girl here, a 2 of. Why do you have this card?
I also started pretty low on this card and gradually went up on it, but cards like Nissa and Oko, sure, Massacre Girl doesn't answer the Planeswalker part, but it answers the flood of creatures that they create, in addition to killing Wicked Wolf, who's indestructible pretty much all the time.
And Find Finality?
Is a similar thing, except you're actually able to outgrind the opponent later on, because they fight and they kill your Innkeepers, and being able to get them back in an adventure creature kind of lets you start to go off.
All right, so which half do you cast more?
Always Find. I almost never cast Finality.
And not just Grasp, well, we've got to have 4 of them, right?
Unfortunately, yeah. That card's amazing. Everyone knows it.
Yeah, it just does everything we need, especially at this show. All right, let's take a look at your mana base here. We've got 2 Castle Locthwain, which is kind of cool. So for you, how often do you activate this, would you say?
Surprisingly, a lot in pretty much matchups where you're not pressured. The games go super long, so even if you're losing 3 life off a trigger, cards are worth a life.
So for you, bringing Golgari Adventure here, you're kind of going out on a limb. How do you feel going into this weekend?
A little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. It seems kind of dumb to not play the deck that's considered the best, but I've been playing this super well and it's a lot of fun, so I don't think I could really go wrong by playing it.
All right, you're the hero we need. Chris Kvartek, everybody.
Thank you.
Golgari Adventure.